Hi, everyone, and welcome to another 4D Method 4D user group. Today is January 14th, and happy winter and happy 2026 to everybody. Hope you had good holidays. This is meeting number 83. Again, on our agenda today, we'll just talk a little bit about what the user group is all about and review some of our upcoming user group presentations on the schedule. We'll talk to Kirk Brooks about the 4D happy hour and what's been going on there for the past so long. Meets a lot more frequently than we do, so there's a lot of action. I understand there's some news from 4D, so Jim Sobczak will be talking to us about what's been going on there. I'll review a few recent articles from the 4D blog that piqued my interest. Unfortunately, Ad can't be here today to highlight one of the recent tech notes from the knowledge base, so I'll also stumble my way through that review, and then we'll get over to the best part, which is talking to Milan Adamov about advanced application signing. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. My name is Brent Raymond. I've been doing 4D development since almost basically my whole career since the 90s. And I just like to see what 4D is doing out in the world. It's always surprising where you find it. It just there's new I wouldn't call it new because some of them have been um, in operation for over 30 years. But it seems like there's always new uses, new deployments of 4D out there popping up every day. So if you are using a 4D application, developing a 4D application, or just interested in 4D whatsoever, these user group meetings can be of interest to you. And if you look at 4dmethod.com, you can see a big library of previous meetings as well. And if you have other comments or interest, I can be reached at 4dmethod@gmail.com. So as I mentioned and have mentioned before, won't go too far into it, but this is the global online 4D user group. We meet every couple months or so, 6 to 8 weeks, just to bring the community together to share programming techniques. As I mentioned, just see what 4D is doing out there, get news from 4D with each of these meetings. I think Jim has been here for all but maybe one. We get great support from 4D for our user group. And this is also a wonderful place to find 4D development support from all of the attendees here in the user group. This is not only just the people who present in these user groups, but all of the attendees really, this is where you'll find the best talent in 4D to help you with your application. And in general, it's just a neat way to see what can be done with 4D, which is virtually limitless. Now, you always hear about a lot of times users assume that the application that someone developed for them is the only thing that 4D is good for. But actually, people do all kinds of stuff with the development platform, and I think we all know that, so I'll move on. But yeah, so please do treat 4D Method as your 4D support community, and it's a great place to find people to work with and people to partner with. And I invite all of you to be a presenter. We've got a couple of upcoming dates this year already. On March 4th, we'll get a presentation from Jean-Michel Birahi. Uh, Excuse me if my French is sounds like I'm chewing on food, but that presentation is going to be BWeb, the low-code 4D component for the web. So that should be interesting. It's always neat to see what alternatives there are for getting your data to the web. Obviously, we also have a lot of action now with Codely, so it's good to have options. Um, and then on April 22nd, we'll talk to Pat Bensky, who was one of our first presenters in the user group since a few years back. And she'll talk about cool stuff you can do with 4D Write Pro. So that should be exciting. You can see this and anything, all the previous presentations to the user group on the schedule page at 4dmethod.com. You can also see that there is an open date. I haven't set out the dates for the latter half of the year yet, but we do have an open date for a presentation for whatever you would like to suggest. We're always open to suggestions. On June 10th, we have an open slot, so please reach out to 4D Method to talk about what you would like to present. Okay, so that's all about the user group for today. I just wanted to hand it off again to Kirk Brooks to talk a little bit about the weekly 4D happy hour that he hosts online as well.
And thank you very much, Brent. I really appreciate the opportunity to take advantage of the group you bring together here. 4D Happy Hour, because we meet every week, is as the little highlights here indicate. It's a little more informal. It's drop in, drop out. Always begins at 2:30 on PDT on Friday afternoons. This April or May, I think we will be 6 years old of doing this every single week. And I know a lot of the folks here have, excuse me, have been there. Recently, I've been seeing just a lot more attendance, which is really very cool. A lot of new faces coming in. People coming by with some really interesting things to talk about. For example, last week, Angel Vasquez did a really nice short demo of how to use LM Studio to run a local LLM and then connect 4D to it. And he's been making noises. I think he might be there again this Friday with a little bit more in-depth demo of running local LLMs. So if you're interested in that, you may want to drop in and see what's going on there. Another thing that I wanted to just highlight, because it was just such a great example of what makes 4D Happy Hour sort of unique in terms of the rest of these webinars and demos that we do, and that was that we were into a really interesting discussion. And then sadly, I forget exactly what we were discussing, but it was something about, I believe it was about queries and like how long something would take, or how it works, something like that. The kind of thing that we always talk about. Well, so Tim Neville's just said, "Look, I'm going to make a demo of this. So you guys talk about something else, and I'll make a demo of it." And so we talked about other things. Tim coded up an example project with an illustration of both of the primary strategies that we had in mind, and then he came back and we got to run it and actually see some results. And that's something that Happy Hour allows us to do that because we share screens. Um, exactly as Angel said, it was about 4D's query planning and exactly how it worked. At Happy Hour, because it's informal, we can share screens, we can, we can ask each other questions, we can engage in things, and we can just try stuff. And that is Yeah, I mean, how much fun is that for nerds, right? It's like just do something and see if it works or see how it works. And of
But the
course, the
but
other
the
thing
but
that,
the thing that was important about this was there was a question about when you do something with Orda, it works one way in 4D single user, and in client server, it's different.
exactly.
And we proved that to be absolutely true. So we've got a case where 4D has decided specifically that they're going to make client server act differently than single user. So if you write code and it's all working wonderfully single user, and you put it onto a server, this particular feature, it will break down horribly. And that's what we tested out and proved. And I didn't think that 4D would do that to us, would specifically say, we're going to make it different on purpose, and we're not going to tell you either.
Well, let's not project too much more. But ladies and gentlemen, Tim Neville's right there. He's there almost every week. So come and join us. It's really it's a lot of fun. It's a good way to get to know people, and you know, and it's really the only place that you can. It's the only place you can come and talk about the business of 4D. You know, with other developers, you know, on an ongoing basis, unless you happen to be close to them or do your own calls. So with that, oh, let me remember to give you there's the website. The link to the Zoom meeting is always there. And I just really invite you to stop in because it's always better when more people are there. And with that, back to you, Brent.
All right. Thanks, Kirk and Tim. But no, it's always good to to see to get information, to lean on the talents that are out there, and you never know where those discussions will go, but it's generally you tend to learn something new one way or another. So thanks again for hosting that every week and having that as a such a great resource for us 4D developers. So, all right. And now I'm gonna pitch it over to Jim to talk a little bit about news from 4D.
Okay, thank you, Brent, and Happy New Year to everyone. Hope everyone had an enjoyable, relaxing holiday season. Tim, thanks for sharing that information. I would invite you to post something on the 4D forums about that, just to see what kind of feedback we get from the community or from engineers, because it sounds kind of off to me, but I take your word for it. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Brent, for I was just thinking about the 4D Method meeting, the user group meeting this morning, and just thank you for all the work you've done over the many, many years and keeping the 4D Method website together and getting people lined up to speak and all that's a lot of work, I know, and we really appreciate that. I think everyone enjoys the community gathering and especially having a really nice speaker every time we do this.
Oh, thank you. It takes everybody here to make it happen, including yourself.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks for filling in for Ad today.
Yeah, I'll do my best.
Yeah, okay.
Thank me. Save that for later.
Okay. And Milan, we're all looking forward to your presentation on advanced application signing. I know your presentations are always awesome. It's great to see you. Most of you know
Well,
Milan
I
worked
could
for
feel
4D.
for Ed. I can still fit in 4D shirts, you know, the black ones from 10 years ago.
Yeah, as most of you know, Milan worked at 4D for many years. He's been just a valuable member of the 4D developer community for a long time, a Mac OS guru for sure. And I'm looking forward to seeing what it has to say today. So as far as what's going on at 4D, it's been a really incredible year, with starting off with the acquisition and everything. And it's been one of the most unusual years ever for my 23 years at 4D or 24 now. So, but it's been a really great year. At the end of the year, every year, it's really busy for the sales and marketing team with partner renewals and maintenance renewals. We had a really big end of year promo this year where we gave away free maintenance for every new license that was sold. That was wildly successful. That was great to see. And then now we're making plans and projections for 2026. So, but for 2025, I'm happy to report that for the 4D US team, and it was probably, if not the best, one of our best years ever from a financial standpoint. Just a really great year. And we owe that all to you guys as 4D developers, the customers that you bring to us, and your own applications and everything. So thank you all for your continuing support of 4D. Everyone here in the US and globally really appreciates that. So to top all of that off, the end of 2025, and then coming out with a new release on Tuesday. So new year, new version of 4D. We're super excited. It's been really special the last couple of years, all the feature releases and getting this out the door on time, which our engineering team is really good at these days. It's really incredible. So we are, as you can imagine, if you've been following the feature releases, we're super excited about this version. So many new features, enhancements of current features in 4D that have been gradually released over the last 2 years as feature releases. So I know a lot of this and can be overwhelming. Before we had feature releases, we used to put everything into the release, and you just it went out, and then you had to read about it for the next 2 months before you finally put it in productions. But now with feature releases coming out every quarter, most of you are familiar with the versions, with the features that have been coming out over the last couple of years. But it can be overwhelming. And for me, I think the best source of information for an overview of the new features in 4021 is the blog post from yesterday. It's just called 4021 LTS is out. And near the bottom of that blog post, there's a link to what's new in 4021 LTS. So that is a really, really good overview, in my opinion. You'll just be scrolling page after page after page of new features and links to the blog articles about those new features. So, everything from the AI engine to improvements in Orta and 4D Codely Pro. Yeah, that's it. The networking layer, the 4D language itself, it really is an incredible release. So we're really excited about this, and we're going to see where it goes with you guys. So if you're a 4D partner, of course, you already have a 4021 developer license in your partner program list of licenses. So all you got to do is go to your partner program and then take a look there. You should have all your old licenses and then your new licenses for developer edition and a test server in your partner program, so you can start developing right away. And then for training, I invite you to visit the 4D YouTube channel to view the latest webinars, including the release webinar for 4021. And then we did announce this, and we'll keep pounding on it, but there's a new website called learn.4d.com, simple, learn.4d.com. It has a lot of our trainings up there for free. So please take a look at that. And there's some really good ones from our best engineers, our best trainers, and the topics now are even more salient than they were before the release of 4021. So spend some time there. Oh, thank you, Kirk. The refresh manager works great on that. Good to hear. Okay. So I think that's it for me, Brent. I could go on and on about 4021, but I think a lot of you just want to start playing with it. So we're looking forward to your feedback and see what happens. So thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no, that's it's hard to encompass everything that was delivered with 4021, especially if you're looking at it from a long-term support LTS version standpoint from 4020 to 21. You could talk for hours about all the different features that came out. I think there was a total of 10 R releases, 10 feature releases. Each one of those were completely packed with features. I think back in the old days, every single one of those would have been a full release itself. But just at the highest level here, seeing the AI integration, the Codely Pro, 4D Write Pro, and the 4D NetKit, and emailing features and whatnot. I mean, at least 3 out of 4 of those I am super excited to introduce at the Art Institute of Chicago Museum where I work, and it just seems like I can't get to it fast enough because the feature set keeps on expanding so quickly. But those are all just great and salient things that you too can add to your application. I mean, the AI itself and the vector search in all of our applications, given how data intensive all of our applications are, is going to have to make a big splash out there, I think, and so that somebody can use just common language to search within your application instead of saying, well, this exact field and that exact field to that relationship over there. It's going to change I think the world that we live in. And I may be restating the obvious because we're all experiencing it elsewhere, but certainly it's now more easily available within the world of 4D. Anyways, in Codely Pro, it's always interesting to see how people extend their 4D applications to the web. I mean, obviously, 4D itself has its own web server, but now and I'll probably a good segue to talk about the recent blog articles, but 4D is now making it easier and easier to integrate the Codely Pro pages into your 4D client application. So before I repeat myself, I'm just going to kick on over to the 4D blog highlights, which often have to do with the upgraded 4D versions anyway. So it's just a great place to, if you're interested in what's coming out in the next R version or the next long-term support version. This is, it's good place to check back in periodically to see what kind of demos and how they describe the features that are becoming available. But here's a few of the most recent articles in the blog that I chose to highlight. One of them being give AI to a 30-year-old 4D application, which really speaks to us at the museum. And it's one thing to see all the steps, the question is always, well, okay, how do I do that? What prompts did they use? And, how did you set up the tools? All of these blog articles tend to come with a how do I application itself, but this one I thought was extra interesting once you got down to the bottom of the lengthy blog article, going through logically how they created the demo, but they also said how to reuse this in your own project if you just wanted to, with the objective that it's not intrusive. You're just adding a few different classes and interfaces to your own project, that you could already start making those kind of that functionality available within your own database. It's worth a look, because anybody who's been in the game long enough with 4D, I think that that article is specifically written for us. But anyways, otherwise, there's a series of other articles that are more focused on Codely, which are also very interesting. One, embed Codely pages in a 4D web area without extra cost. The extra cost coming from the concern that if I add a Codely page anywhere, it's going to consume a 4D client license. Well, this article goes into how that's not how to avoid extra client licenses from being consumed by attaching this one-time passcode to any URL that you are trying to load into a web area. So it gets into the nitty-gritty on how you can start to use Codely pages, which effectively run the same way in a web browser, but you can embed them in your 4D client application again without burning more client licenses. So
Yes,
that's
thank you for bringing that up, Brent. Sorry to interrupt here, but I think that's an important point that it doesn't require an extra license because they're sharing a session and a license now, Codely Pro. So thanks for bringing that up. I think that some people were averse to move to trying Codely Pro because of the cost, but it seems like we've eliminated that. So it's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting, and I think from what I can tell, what they're working towards and what they're trying to deliver with with 4021 is the ability to take an older application, older server client application, and instead of trying to make the leap of transitioning to a full web interface. Uh, Instead doing it one area at a time. You can transition a certain page within your client interface, and that page will work the same way when it's on just from a web browser. So it's the two worlds are effectively merging. So you can one step at a time build towards having your client interface in the browser, which is I think we've all that's somewhat of the holy grail, so to say, for some of these applications because all of our users are so used to having everything in the browser. So whatever can make that easier is going to be pretty important to all of us. Anyways, along those lines, the next article, enhance your desktop interface with web widgets using 4D Codely Pro. It's just another step in the same direction where they're using Codely widgets, such as a map view, and having that load into your client or standalone 4D application web area, and then having it interact nicely with listbox clicks, and having things like a rating widget as well in the web area page, which writes directly back and forth to the to your database. So again, just really worth a look to see where you might think about introducing such a functionality directly into your 4D application. And then furthermore, event report in 4D Codely Pro. That was really neat. It's a new feature from what I can tell in Codely. It's just a different view from a back-end development perspective. You can actually see every interaction at a glance. It's basically a page event flowchart. So you can see each of the, call them widgets or actionable objects on a page. And as you know, in 4D development, setting certain things that happen on events like load on clicked or whatever, it provides a really nice overview of the Codely page, and any events that are set up to fire, and how they all tie together, if they do tie together. I thought that was a really neat view of of something that can very easily seem like you're digging through object by object, or event driven code, and not quite sure how they there's oftentimes it's hard to get a full overview of it. So I thought that was nice anyways. even if you're just going to see the screenshots of it. And then another article on session handling in Codely. Specifically, it's about they give you out of the box the capacity to handle the session expiration and the reminder you see on a lot of websites where you're going to be ejected from your session if you don't make clicks or whatever. It handles all of that if you let it. Handles all of that, and you can put code behind these events as well. The reminder itself, and especially on session expired, whatever you need to do as a cleanup or other code that you want to fire once someone's session expires. This article gives you a good view on how to do that. So, anyways, yeah, a lot of Codely, I understand, and AI, but I think that those are, kind of the elephants in the room of 4D21, among other things. I mean, so many great code changes as well, and a constant move towards using classes for everything across the language, which, if you're still with not if you're not in project mode yet, I just really encourage anybody to make the jump from binary to project mode. It's pretty earth shaking, or there's so many benefits at this point. It really should be your clear next step in your project to get yourself in project mode so you can take advantage of some of these great new advances. So here's where I would normally hand off to Ad, but he's not able to join us today. So I will stumble my way through the description of this tech note. Again, if you're not familiar with the 4D knowledge base, they periodically put out basically two things. One being tech tips, which are little tips. Just, did you know you can do this? Or if you're experiencing this problem, or, those kind of things, smaller, couple paragraphs, sometimes a couple sentences or a screenshot. And then you also see tech notes. I mean, it will, they'll put out other bigger demo links as well, but the tech notes themselves are basically white papers. I mean, and by white paper, I mean a really in-depth dive into a particular topic. And, not to say that the tech tips aren't themselves very worthwhile. I picked up one just yesterday when I was looking at the recent articles, and I was able to use it immediately, actually. Did anybody know that through the REST interface there, you can always pull a timestamp for any table, any record in your database for the last modification date of a record, even if you're not actively writing that, without going through any of your journal files or any of that kind of thing. That was actually immediately useful. So some of those tech tips are real golden. And you can also click a little heart icon, which I like, to save your favorites. But anyways, enough about the heart icons. This article in particular is UDP sockets, peer-to-peer communication from Anwar Mustari. So sorry again for any mispronunciations of anyone's name, but this is a neat article that you ever wonder how to make your own torrenting network? or you know, they use these kind of features, the peer-to-peer communication with online gaming. They talk about other potential uses of it, but effectively, it's you're using the new UDP socket classes that were made available in 4020R10 and showing how you can make your own peer-to-peer network on your, you know, whatever network that you're on. So, you know, say your home or office system where it's extremely lightweight for you know, how it works and the traffic, I guess, that it generates. But if a another application comes online and launches the same code, then they're automatically discovered by their peers, and you know, you can use that peer-to-peer network for any number of purposes, depending on um, what your business is, but it's a very interesting dive into using those new UDP classes, socket classes, and code, and boy, I think there's a lot of neat uses just for the code that was available in this article out of the box. So you know. Neat stuff. Somebody put a lot of work into it, and that somebody's named Anwar. But I encourage you all to at least take a glance at it. If not, you know, I think you'll pick up some new ideas and new tips on how to use the new features that were made available in 20R10. Anyways, we'll see Ad next time, but for now, I'm going to hand it over to Milan. Now, last year we had a demo from Milan, but he was so excited that he dove right in, and I didn't get to introduce him, even though he doesn't really need an introduction for a lot of us in the community, since we've all been to training here or there, gotten tech support from Milan. But I'll just say he's joining us today from Serbia, from Belgrade, Serbia. Uh, uh, Milan operates under his own company, Adamov Consultancy. However, many of us know Milan better from his days working for 4D Technical Support. And rightly so. He has had several roles with 4D dating back to the 90s. He started as the head of the Belgrade development and sales for 4D, and then he worked for a 4D distributor in Spain, and then moving on as an R&D manager for the 4D distributor in Portugal and Brazil, and then back again working with the U Epicenter Apple dealer in Serbia for 4D development and sales. And finally, as an international technical support team member for 4D directly. So he's had not only with 4D but also Apple an extensive career with 4D support in a variety of different systems. And you may also recognize Milan from his many 4D trainings and summit presentations, which I've enjoyed over the years. And don't forget his great 4DMethod demo last year called Master Application Building with GitHub. And today, Milan does his own IT consulting and 4D development, and he's here to speak to us about a popular topic in the world of business application development, continuous deployment and application signing. So, yeah, and he'll show a little bit about how to use GitHub Actions to always have your best 4D features and updates ready for delivery. So a little extra introduction since you didn't get yours last time, Milan. But
I was like,
I'm excited to have you here again and
thank
to
you.
see what else you've got to show.
Yeah, I decided to do with the signing we agreed today. Well, since last time I work a lot of on improving that building process, and one of the thing is improving the signing, especially since, well, the main point here will be actually to show you in the second part of this, how to basically use what was until 2 days ago called Azure Trusted Signing, and I was surprised to log in yesterday and see that they changed the name to Artifact Signing. So everywhere on sites, so it's kind of strange to do that in just a short time, just in the middle of my preparation for this. So the idea is that I will go over, well, let's go directly to okay, send request directly to presentation. So I will go through and you will see how it goes. So I will compare. Am I sharing? Oh yeah.
Try one more time, maybe.
No share. Okay. Let's do this desktop. Okay.
There we go.
So go to the keynote. Okay. Why is this happening now? So I called it best practices. You called it advanced signing. I'm not sure how advanced it'll be for the Apple part, because that's the thing that it's around for many, many years. So I will just go over it and basically show how easy or difficult it is to do signing manually, and to show you later for each operating system how it's done using GitHub Actions. So only signing, not the building part, because that we covered last time. So the requirements for signing in Apple applications is to create separate. Well, you don't need to create separate one, but it's recommended to, whenever you are dealing with Apple as something new, create a new developer ID or new ID. For example, when I was becoming an Apple trainer some 15 years ago, I used another Apple ID for that purpose, and it was a good thing to do, because Apple always makes some kind of complications. So basically, I could not choose Serbia or Slovenia or some other country than any other, like say, West European country to be assigned to that ID. So basically, some engineer from Ireland, from Cork, sent me a link and said, click on this link and don't change anything. And after that, it worked for me. So, which was better than for my friend who is an iOS developer, who had to, I don't know, 15 years ago or 17 years ago, to choose international waters instead of Serbia in order to get his Apple developer ID. So that's why it's good to have separate. And everyone knows that it's like $100 per year, and you can have unlimited number of applications and signatures, while you are limited you have some limits on number of certificates that you have, depending on are you under standard Apple developer program or something else. But in practice, for small developers or 4D developers, that's not relevant. So when you create this, you will need to take note of that ID, password, and the team ID, which is assigned, and you must install Xcode. So where you, for example, let me show you. No, I want to show you that's in Brave. So everything you do is from here. So from developer accounts here. You create it there, and you create your certificates there. You can do it from Xcode. You can do it, I don't know, manually from command line. But anyway, and here, while I'm here, show you, once you create this, oh, sorry. It was back then I wanted to show you, but nevertheless, it's also here that you will use to how to say, where is my keynote now? Wait. It was also here that you will download that certificate, which you will need later. So then, as I said here, so I wanted to show you that, but I get logged out. I will log in later, not in a moment. So you need to create a certificate, and you choose the type for the certificate. So since I suppose nobody will distribute 4D applications through Mac App Store. I didn't hear that anybody did this. Maybe somebody did, but for applications that you are going to distribute out of Mac App Store, you need the developer ID application type of the certificate. And you need to install it in your keychain, of course. That's where all the signing will take it, I mean, pull it from there, all the signing tools, etc., etc. Of course, have the name, because in the process of signing, you will provide the name of the certificate. And that is why that I said at this point that you need to write down your Apple ID password, because it might look strange, but the certificate password is actually the password of your Apple ID that you use to create the certificate. So that's the thing that you need to remember. So, and regarding the 4D signing, I forgot, maybe you will remember, but since, I don't know, since at least I think version 18, maybe 19, when you are signing, when you are building applications from 4D, and do not choose certificate, 4D will sign it anyway with a so-called ad hoc certificate. So macOS will not complain that it's like not signed. You cannot notarize later the, I don't know, the disk image or the zip archive with it, but you can just use it and start it, and your users will not complain that you know, I cannot start it application. Then you don't need to explain them like, right click on this, do get info and open anyway, and whatever is the current Apple way of allowing something to run on it. So 4D will also sign all the items, or they are already signed, some components, of course, within that application button. That we will see that later. And as I said, it will use ad hoc certificate, and you can re-sign that. So you can overwrite the if you're signing later, you will overwrite. Why will you sign later? So I had a situation. Let me just show you the how do you call the building process to you, so you will remember. So this is what I'm speaking about. So when you go to this pane, if you don't click on here, 4D will do an ad hoc signing. You know, if you click on here and provide the certificate, which will I do this now. Just let me unlock this. Where is my favorites? So remember, you paste here the certificate name. That's why I said, so let's save the settings and do the build. This will go fast, I suppose, because it's... So now 4D will sign with your certificate and you will see the change. However, why am I... so where the builds are here. Okay. So I have this unsigned already built later. I will get info, and from this, so on the left, it's signed with ad hoc signature as your key. On the right, it's signed with mine. And it said notarization non-detected, and you cannot notarize. This means that you cannot notarize. And this means that it is not notarized because it was just built, but it is signed. And this can be notarized. So just to tell you, you will have in a presentation is in I suppose you saw the link to the GitHub repository. There is the PDF there with this presentation, and you will have a link to this fabulous software called Transparency, which actually makes this possible in Finder. And you can see here all the components and all the binaries into package, how are they signed. So see, this is signed by 4D. It's not notarized. We will do that later. And this is signed with my certificate. You see, and this part here is also inside. It's usually, oh no. So it is signed. The bundle is signed. the difference with this, as you can see here, is that this one is ad hoc signature here and ad hoc signature here on the main bundle. So this cannot be notarized. This can be notarized. How do you do this manually? How do you, let's say, sign? Well, first to tell you, why would you need to sign manually? Well, I had a situation in our application with ClearUSys that after the build, we have to put things like web folder, and stuff like that, which contains JavaScript files. So macOS considers that also, it requires them to be signed also. So since you're doing build with 4D, 4D is packing everything for you and making this package here. This package here, it's 4D is making, and you need to put something in it after the signing. So macOS will complain. It says you tampered with the file. So to avoid that, you will then need to actually, after 4D builds the application, you need to copy the files that you need into the package and then sign again, because you may have some files that need signing regularly. I think you need to sign again even if you don't have JavaScript files, because you are changing the content of the bundle. So how will you do it manually? Let's first show the presentation, so you will see that. So come on. So the workflow is as follows. You will sign the bundle. Then you will create the DMG. I prefer DMG for distribution, not zip files, for several reasons, and I think it's better thing to and also I'm so used to having with DMG, I know that's the Mac archive. With zip, I know that's for Windows. So then you need to submit the DMG or zip for notarization. That is done by uploading to Apple servers, and for that you need those Apple ID, your team ID, and app specific password that you have to create in your Apple account. There is a place there. I will show you later. So if notarization is accepted, so if Apple said that it's okay, then you need, well, you don't need, you can go without stapling notarization. What stapling is stapling means that, for example, you notarize your DMG and you're delivering that. So imagine that your client doesn't have internet at that moment, at the moment of launching application or opening DMG. Apple servers are not available. So the process means if the file is not stapled, the macOS will try to contact notarization service to check of it. If they are check if the file is correct and everything is okay, and if it cannot connect the server, it will refuse to open and install. So basically, by stapling, you are adding like a small information within a DMG file on DMG file that everything is okay. So even without internet connection, the macOS will allow it to open the DMG. So that's stapling. So how do you sign bundle? This is the command from the terminal. So what this deep means? Deep means that it will sign to all subfolders. But it happened to me, even with preparation for this presentation, that sometimes doesn't do all the things. So you will need to be sure that it's doing. I will show you later what I did when I'm going to demo. So you pass. You do a force, you do a deep, it's runtime, and you pass the name of your signing certificate, and of course, where is your application bundle located. Then to create DMG, this is the command. So I prefer also this UDBZ. It will try to compress and make it smaller than necessary, the image file. Then after that, to submit for notarization, you will do this like this. you can do it to notarization. You can set the what they call like a keychain profile. Basically, the command is to set the keychain profile, and then you pass to that. In that profile, it will include your Apple ID, password, and team ID. Those three things here. But since I'm very fond of using everything in GitHub Actions, that's just another step that it's not needed, because that keychain in GitHub Actions is temporary. It will get deleted and destroyed at the end of the process. So why do necessary things? Can you do it this way? There is a third thing. You can go to Apple Store Connect site and create some kind of hash on some kind of file, and then use that like a certificate for notarization, something like that. I didn't play with it, but that's also possible. But this is the plain form of how you do. And to staple it just like this. So after the DMG is created and notarized, you just call it this way. So, well, I can show, since I'm in presentation. So if you don't like to type commands, or there is a great piece of software called DMG Canvas that can do that for you. It will build DMG, make DMG, submit it for notarization, stapling, do everything. So I will try to demo now those things. So I have here, let me check. Oops, it's Serbian keyboard. So let me delete this. That's what I was. So let's go to final applications. So this is my signed application now. Yes, of course. I suppose that's it. So yeah, so we will create DMG. We will sign this and then create DMG and try to notarize it. So this is signed, as you can see here. So I prepared just to copy and paste, so you don't wait for me to. So I can sign it like here. Oh, no identity. Oh, sorry, not. Oh, well, let me speak about the signing within the package. So sometimes, if you sign and this deep option doesn't work, you will need to do it like for each file to check. So I made a script for you, and let me find where is my BB edit and show you the no BB edit. Too many windows, sorry, so this is here. So I created this script. It's called sign4D. It's a bash script, and you will use that script to sign if you want. I mean, if you want to do it manually. So basically, it will go recursively through your bundle and find every Meko library, or whatever needs to sign, and it will sign for you. So let's try to do it. I think I have it in history here. So I need to the staple notary. Is this one sign me? Yep. Okay. So see, it's going. So basically, it will if it's so say it's replacing existing signature, which is actually the same. So now I have signed it manually, and I think there has been no changes there regarding the get info information. Let me just do it again. Yeah, it's the same because I did the same thing. So as 4D I was doing it. So basically didn't change anything here, except you see that's many frameworks here now. Instead of 4D, it's like it's it's signature of my company. So
Yeah.
see, it goes here like this. So this DOO means LLC or GmbH in Germany or whatever, limited in UK, I suppose. So
Yeah,
as you can.
that's a really great free tool, Apparency,
Mhm.
for having a sanity check on what's going on with the signing. I actually just was poking around with it this morning, and it really gives you some insight into the results of whatever step you're in the process. But Milan, is now a good time to can I
Mhm.
say a couple of questions from the chat just before we get
Oh yeah,
too
yeah. I
far
didn't
along?
see that there's something. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
worries. No worries. So there was a question, do you know, and for anyone at 4D as well, for anyone using the XML keys and XML build document, does 4D allow you to add your developer certificate into the build process?
Uh,
If you're if
yeah, yeah. I'm doing that in GitHub Action, but I build the XML file on our own. Build settings is actually XML file, so you can do it. I'm not sure that you have keys, but you can edit the file. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? So you can add. I'm doing that with our automatic building for and signing later. So I mean I let for this sign and then I resign do signing again. So you can put it in build settings. Yes.
So you can effectively inject it into the
Yeah. Well, the
4D
best thing is,
settings file.
yeah, the best thing to when you play with this is just change one property in build settings in GUI, and then open the file, open the XML in a text editor and see the differences. So that's
Hmm.
how I did all the things. So because remember in my previous presentation, I was not using, and I'm still not using build for the component. I'm using build application command. So basically the process of building is just depending of parameters what you want to build. I create the build settings file and then pass that build settings file to build application command. So I add everything into the basically into it, and I do add the certificate. Well, I'm not sure you can do a certificate now. I didn't try.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that myself. It may well be possible, but there's also the build 4D component
Let me check.
tool
Let me
uh,
check.
that
While you're
that
speaking, I will check here in our.
that might also help there. I just wanted to also note that I did put in the chat and also on the post on 4D Method for this meeting the a link to Milan's uh, uh, repository containing all the materials for this demo, including his slides and links to things like DMG Canvas, I believe. And I also put into the chat a link to the Apparency free app that he's using for checking the results of the signing. We had another question from Dave in the chat. Can you create an Apple script to handle the signing and notary tasks? Or this is
Mm,
probably
yes,
yeah.
yes. I mean, why not? But you can create shell for do everything. I mean, shell script and run it and wrap it in Apple script. Yeah, also.
Yeah, that's probably the best way, right?
So
To,
let me check here. I think this is okay. Build settings. Oh, there it is. See,
uh-huh.
for the last one, there it is. So
Yep. Right, and that's in the 4D settings file.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
build application for the settings. Yeah, for the
right.
build.
Um, yeah, and then yeah, Angel also linked to a great 4D blog article on notarizing your merged
Mhm.
4D applications. Um, let's see, anything else? Yeah. Okay, and there's right. The yeah, somebody. All right, I think we're clear. All
Okay,
right.
so let me just start to create the. Well, I will do it before. So now that we actually signed everything again. Now we can build the DMG. And while I'm letting it doing, see, I will show you also that you can do that with, where is DMG canvas here? It was here somewhere. There it is. So this is the new project in DMG canvas. Let's name this 4DMethod signing. And let's say code sign and notarize. Which certificate? This one. It reads, you know, from the keychain, and you can do this. Format, let's FS compression. This is what I do. So what I'm doing, I think it's this one. Maybe this one. So you can, depending what you want. So let's do it uncompressed, because so image size automatic, you do everything, and you go to so to add files, you will go content here, and you can just drag and drop. So this is my signed application. You can also play, make files, whatever, make images, add like, for example, you can add application folder and then add some graphic that you can drag and drop, etc. Save this. Let's put it here. And then you can just run this, build and finalize, and where to save this image. Let's say sign DMG canvas, just to have a difference. Let's put it here anyway. So DMG canvas will do also its magic. It's nice to have it because you can, you know, like make a nice DMG with like installer and everything. So it's also uploading too. So, oh, no file with that directory. So yes. So I'm in the final application already. So I can delete this. Why it doesn't work, I don't know. The path is, so basically it's both of them are, so DMG canvas is already creating the image and sending it to, and I'm here behind. So so you see it's already uploaded and waiting for a response from Apple servers. So it's fast, even faster than command line. So, you know, so this is like doing manually, semi-manually, but this is how you do it anyway. I used to do it with DMG canvas because it's so great. I mean, never did it manually, and I mean never. I did to learn how to do it, but I'm not doing it. I just wrote this script these last few days to let's call it deep signing, you know, to have it, of course, with the help of my best friend called ChatGPT. So it's kind of, so this can take a while depending on the size, how Apple servers are busy, you know, the notarization. And then you staple and you have something ready for distribution that nothing will complain. So you see how much time you're spending here doing nothing, waiting. I mean, now I could read, you know, read something else or read the 4D blogs or whatever, you know. And so this is also done. So let's do notarization from, I hope the Apple will not complain because I'm doing it from the same IP, same everything. Uploading. So
It's big.
well, always big, you know. So, well, 320 megabytes,
Yeah.
That's, I think it can, because it's only one window in application, nothing else, no data file, nothing in it. So
It's all
4D, it makes like, I don't know, like 400 megabytes, I think it's the with the volume desktop.
right.
So it's compressed with creation. So in progress. So if this fails, you can see. So basically, let me explain you while we are waiting, so we are not wasting time. I will show you the how do you call there is the signing. So I want to show you actually the GitHub action now. So instead of doing this manually, you can do it in GitHub actions, provided that you build something there, or you like I'm doing here in this line, 2 lines, I'm downloading already built for the application and zipped and put on my servers where I put it. Remember from my previous presentation, this is where binaries for the RS, that's where I have my 4D binaries, 4D volume desktops, 4D server to make builds from it. So basically I put it there also. So these are the user and password because they are protected, so nobody will download freely anything from there. And basically, if I have to repeat, I can repeat, because this is what are the secrets, etc., etc. So in GitHub Actions, you can put secrets in your repository. So your passwords, your certificates, your everything is not seen or printed. And GitHub is very, very careful and I never found it that it will accidentally print. If you do echo or print to file or whatever you do with those things from secrets, it will always be, the stars, the asterisks. You will never see what it's actually in there. So in order to hide it, that's why you use secrets. You have also variables, which is not in this case important. I spoke about them in that presentation a year or so ago. So that's why I put. So what you do, you will put secrets out here. So let me show you where is the repository. Safari. I think it's here. Yep. So this is the repository, as you can see. And you will find secrets under settings. And here, secrets and variables, and for actions. So you see how many I have there here for each thing that I need here and to be, secret. So you just create a new one, give the name, whatever you want, and the value. So in the case of certificate, Apple certificate, what you do is you will use base 64 command in terminal to make a, like base 64 hash, and you will open that in text editor and paste it to a secret. So in this one, that's the one. Everything else is also, these are just strings, everything. So you just paste them in there, and once you are in there, you cannot see them anymore. So you can change them, but you cannot see them. You can only, I have a test step in my GitHub actions to check the lengths. If sometime I paste like the new line or added space or something. So these are the secrets, and I use them a lot. Where do you put your GitHub actions? Well, you have this, you create .github invisible folder and then workflows folder within it and put it in there. So these are they're all over there. So did I push this? Oh, I didn't push my changes, so that's why. I have some files that I removed and not to be in repository, sorry. So back to so these are and they're, as you remember, maybe if you not, they're the they're the YAML files, which is very, very nasty about spaces. So you see there are no tabs here. Those spaces are here. So in essence, what I do, I download the zip file and expand it, and then I worked it. So I install because I don't have nothing in my keygen. So what is GitHub Action? This is actually macOS latest, meaning macOS Sequoia running 15, 17 something in GitHub. They didn't still put Tahoe there. So it's kind of virtual machine that will kill itself at the end. So it will do what it's doing, and it will kill and remove everything. So everything is temporary in it. So in order to have your, how do you say, to be possible to sign, you need to create a keychain, a new keychain. So I'm creating temporary keychain, putting the certificate in it, and I need, of course, certificate password. Remember, this is actually my password for my Apple ID that created this certificate. And this can be anything because it's only used. So it's created in here. So this is to create this keychain file with this password, and this keychain file will, be deleted, destroyed at the end. So it doesn't matter. You can put whatever you want, like 1, 2, 3, 4 in this password, but you must have it in order. So basically, it puts in keychain, it set it to be a default one, so the signing process can find it, etc., etc. Then I'm verifying that, that everything is installed okay. Can I find the certificate actually? And then I sign application. So I use code sign here where both, you see, so I didn't call the script to how do you say, this script you can call it also, like to scroll it, but anyway, I'm signing it here manually again, even though 4D already signed it, so nothing will change, but I will have the same result as I have it here locally. Then I create the EMG. I mean, the same command that I use in terminal, you can see it here. This is where I check the secrets length. So if something is strange, I will see that, now that my Apple ID is like, I don't know, 17 characters in length. And if it's 16 or 18, well, that's why my signing failed or something. So to validate that notary credentials are right, remember for notarization, we need Apple ID, Team ID, and application specific password. So to actually be able to sign or to notarize, we will try this. So I'm trying to store credentials so this is the command, store credentials with notary profile. Even that I'm later not going to use notary profile. You can, but I'm not, as you will see later. So instead of here, in this part here, when I'm actually notarizing, submitting for notarization, and I'm doing the same Apple ID, Team ID, and password as here, I could just pass notary profile. So instead passing these 3, I could pass a notary profile. But anyway, this is just for illustration. I'm not using credentials. I'm using this already because that's one step that it's, I don't know, everything will be destroyed like in 2 or 3 minutes. So why wasting time? So then I'm getting the notary JSON of kind of log, from this process. So I created a log file and told the notary tool to make it like JSON. You can do it as CSV or something like that, maybe XML, I forgot. So basically, if status is accepted, we are going to staple the image, and this is doing it. If not, well, we will get an error, and then we will have we will actually get because it's very, very hard to check where you failed, especially in GitHub Actions. So it's not descriptive. So you have to find the ID of your notary, of your process, notarization process, actually, what you just ran on Apple, and then get the log of it. So maybe this will tell you something more about why the thing failed, something. Because, for example, you will get a strange error like notarization failed, and without any details why it failed, if just one file was not signed correctly within a bundle. So, when you use that ad hoc signing, something inside is also not sign, and you will have like, or in our case in Clearview Sys, I have like, as I said, we copy some folders into the bundle before creating DMG, and that happens after 4D sign. So if we don't sign and try to notarize, we will get a strange error. I mean, you will have like, I don't know, spend like 2 hours trying to find out why it failed. So this helps. And at the end, I just add the artifacts to so the log itself, the DMG. So basically, I will show you what this means now. So it will be, so each run of where is the here? So each run of the actions which you can see here. So this is when I'm was doing the testing. So when you run this, you can have logs, and this is the here what you can see. This is the, how to say, this is the artifacts. Well, this is for not the Windows runners. So I need, let's do this one. Okay, I have to refresh this page. Why it's not giving me? The workplace has no runs, and I'm sure I had it. Anyway, well, let's run it again. So you can run your workflow, and you choose, I don't have branches here, but you can choose from which branch to run. So I run the workflow, and you will see that GitHub is doing the same things that I was doing in command line. So downloading the file at the moment. So now it's unzipping, expanded. Okay, do the signing again. See, it's
Yeah, it's nice to have all that automated and be able to
and you can just automate this and do other things, play with the ChatGPT, trying to figure out how to automate something else instead of like waiting for uploads, unpacking, and everything. So now it's creating DMG. While we wait, let's see if this finished. Okay, this one is accepted. What's the DMG canvas said? Also succeeded. Notarization, blah, blah, blah. Where is accepted? Verifying this is stapling. Notarization succeeded, as you can see. Stapling here, but here I have to staple now because I didn't staple. So stapling is just this, and it will be fast. That's it. And now I can distribute this sign me DMG wherever I want, to anyone I want, and it will. So if I mount it and get info, and appearance will say that it's signed by me, it's notarized. Just take some time to get into it. Okay, you see, notarized, granted, everything is okay. So
that's a nice tool, the DMG canvas.
Yeah, it's also, well, DMG canvas, its image is, I think, here or here. Oh, this one. So also DMG canvas, open, you see, this is it. So you can do this, and it will copy to, so it will make you everything. And this one is also, you see, everything is the same. So if you want to be, like easier and I mean, pay, I think it's only $25 DMG canvas or something like that. So it's kind of, and it's pretty nice tool. So my signing. Okay, so let me check where are we here? Oh my, I hate when my dock suddenly goes there. Okay, it's notarizing also. So And in GitHub Actions, I repeated that many times in that previous, previous presentation. Just log everything and put it in artifacts, because debugging is nightmare when you know.
Mm.
And something happened, I think also last week. So whenever GitHub updates runner images, actually, for some time from something or something else happened, it's not always, but sometimes something breaks and you don't know what breaks. So you have to dig into documentation, what changed, what might change, etc., etc. And it's kind of, or then Apple changed something, or remember that agreement that from time to time you have to accept in Xcode or on the on Apple developer site. So it's kind of, and you don't know that, you just see why did my build failed, and so you're waiting now for this. I'm not sure what. Are there some more questions I didn't see, so we can answer while we wait?
Nothing in the chat, but if anyone has any questions or comments, they're welcome to say them aloud at the moment, or put them in the chat.
So
Have you figured out the signing for Windows?
yeah, that follows like
Okay.
here. So I figure out how to do it here. So that's why actually we made this presentation. This is just like to compare and to, let's say, popularize GitHub Actions again, because once I learned that, I'm so fond of it and try to do everything there. So basically for Windows, I think John is here. I saw him here. Yeah, John Foster. I don't know if he had time to play. I sent him last year when I heard about Azure Trust and Signing. I sent him a link. And then I think during the summer, I started working on it for Clearview Sys. So basically signing on Windows, from my research before, so maybe somebody was almost everyone, well, almost. The solutions where you have a hardware key or something to sign, and you have to do this, and it was, I said, rather expensive, like 3 or 4 times more expensive than Apple, and and for GitHub Actions, I couldn't find solution that will fit. And then I heard about Azure Trusted Sign, which is basically Microsoft's attempt to, let's say, mimic or do something similar what Apple did. And it's, well, we can continue with keynote when this ends. I will go back and let you know. So because I already started signing, so speaking about Azure, let's go then to Azure. So why is
just a dumb question? The stapling, that's when it's been notarized, but you're attaching the notarization to the digital package that's been notarized. The stapling, is that
you're attaching, like, I don't want to call hash. I don't know. I forgot actually how Apple called it, but it gives the DMG or zip archive the possibility to application that it's inside or whatever it's signed inside, it's notarized and you can run it locally. So it has like Apple sign this, like put a stamp on it, and you can use it even without internet, even, without sending anything to Apple to check if it's really true. They guarantee it's notarized, what it means. So Mac OS can run. This is the links for DMG Canvas and apparency. So for signing on Windows, you have to create like Azure account on Portal Azure or whatever is used. And of course, the same recommendation, use something else if you have anything like other Microsoft accounts, like for Office 365 or whatever. And after that, you will be probably asked immediately, I forgot how to create something they call subscription resource. So it's your definition of what kind of subscription you will add to that. Because you can have many subscription resources for I don't know how much. I think Azure has like hundreds of services that you can, like pay in subscription. So you have to create one especially for this, or add it to existing, select existing one so to actually make to for you to able to pay to Microsoft the subscription for signing, you have to open that subscription resource. I will try to open that in. There is one problem which I will give you later, and I didn't have feedback information to run. I asked him today, but I will show you the images anyway. So, and you will find the how do you say, this Microsoft code signing resource, and within you are defining, okay, I want to use it, this subscription resource, use it for signing, and Microsoft will charge you based on that. You can add other resources to the same subscription, so it will like add on it, but we at ClearViewSys have this like separate just for this. And then you have to create signing account, then resource group, and then choose your account name for that account, which region, which is very important because you have to provide, when signing, you have to provide endpoint that you will use. So if you choose like, I don't know, Western Europe, as I did, I have to use that region, not any region, any other region, signing will fail. And pricing tiers. So pricing is, you will see you can choose from two only. One is $10 per month, and others is $100 per month. Number of times, so 5,000 signatures, so 5,000 signing of anything. I don't think, you will need, like for this purpose that you will need more than that. 100 gives you 100,000 signatures, and both of them have some kind of number of certificate profiles, etc., etc. You can check that later in Azure or something. And then you need, this is the part where I stopped, because Azure Trust and Signing, I think, started in October 24, I think, something like that. And at the beginning, it was available to everybody, I think, because I remember signing on it, into it, creating account, and I could create the certificates and everything without validating myself. And then that suddenly stopped to be possible, and it was only available, I think, when we started to sign in ClearViewSys during that summer or August or September. I don't remember when I finished. It was only available to US and Canadian companies older than 3 years. Now it's available for US, Canadian, EU companies, and I'm not sure which one, regardless of how they are old, and for individuals in US and Canada. So for me, like Serbian company, I cannot use that anymore. So all my demo, I will using like a certificate from ClearViewSys to actually sign. And what I'm going to show you is, like interface for my company, and then few images from that I altered with ChatGPT from ClearViewSys, so you'll get the so this is in where is Orion? This is, so let me just find the window. No, it was here. Oh, session expired. That's the one. Okay, try again. This is my private Azure account. Okay, so I have everything created. So this is the Azure subscription, as you can see. When you open it, you see these essentials here. So subscription name, your role, which plan, etc., etc. Subscription ID, and that's what you have here. So when you go back, this is what I was looking today, because I couldn't find where it is. I mean, yesterday, and then this used to be called Azure Trusted Signing. accounts. Now it's artifact signing accounts. So you go there. I already have. So if you choose to create, you will get like this. I don't know why it's so slow. So this is which subscription do you go, which resource group. I have already one, but you can create a new one. So you can like allocate resources to several groups or something based on subscription, and then create account name and choose your region. So as you see, so this is all added in last, I don't know, 2 months maybe, because signing in EU was allowed, I think, in November only. EU, see Brazil, they keep adding it. So I'm not sure why they added Poland Central. I suppose they have some Microsoft utility there, who knows. So you can choose which region you are and pricing tier. So basically $10 per month. Actually, this was $12 for me because I was paying that. As I told you in the beginning, I could use it. So I was paying and it was $12 because Serbian VAT is 20%. So they added it. And premium, you see, so you have only one certificate profile for here with 5K signatures per month. Here you have 10 certificate profiles. So you can use, I don't know, for each application or project that you use, you can use different ones. So I suppose if you have so many projects, $100 per month is not much. So this is my account. As with Apple, you have to, so this is, you see, the thing that you have to write down. You have to write down resource group, and you have to write down, this is not here. Go back to home. Microsoft Entra ID, this was also used to call, this is actually Active Directory, and they rename it. I'm not sure if they rename it only within Azure or all over the place like that. So here, I hope I will remember where do I, oh yeah, it's down here. So you can add your application registration. It's kind of like on Apple, we needed to put like application specific password, remember? So this is probably something similar. So you can give the name and select whatever you want. And when you do this, I have this in slide, you will get some other parameters that you will need later for like client ID, client secret, and tenant ID. Tenant ID you already have, but I'm not sure if it's the same. So, and that's basically what you need to set up. Once you set up this, I cannot go further because this one I cannot do so. Then you have to go to the here and apply for validation, so your identity, and you pass like whatever they will need documents. For Apple, I think I did it 10 years ago. My Serbian company, I registered for DUNS. I forgot what it's the short for that, but DUNS number, and that was enough for Apple to trust me. And they gave me like in few days, they gave me the team account, well, the company account. So I'm not the individual on Apple as Apple developer, but my company is with me as sole developer is there. So here, I don't know what they ask and what they. So basically, this is a limitation. I suppose because they're doing this, that in few months it will be open for everyone when they test it and have everything. When you are approved, then you will go here and create. So that's why I remember that I used to work for here, because I remember that in my account I have the list here. I will show you the list. So this is basically whatever you need into. I will show you this now in the keynote. So you will so you need to verify identity, and only after that you can generate certificates. Actually create certificate profile, because you will not be generating certificates. Azure will be changing that, will be doing that for you. So this is what I try to, so this is how it looks when you have. So this is certificate profile, signing account, and artifact signing account. Again, I don't know why ChatGPT gives the same, though this is different view of something. So you see subscription and everything. This is the important screen. So this is certificate profile, and you see these are all certificates. So Azure is generating every day one certificate that it's valid for 3 days, and you have always 4 certificates active. So when you sign, it will automatically choose this one. And when your client starts a application, it will consult these certificates. Actually, it will know that they're valid, even though you signed with, I don't know, this one, which is like 5 days ago, you know. So this is how Azure works. They just, you don't generate certificate as you do in Apple World, you know, and then use it and put it in keychain. In Azure is generating data automatically for you. You just need to know your certificate profile and have credentials to access it. That's the point of that's the difference, and that's why so this here I am showing you like this because I cannot show you basically how it's done from my account because I don't have, you know, still access. You can do it, you know, like on your own. So so you have to take note of this because you will need everything, like I said: code signing account name, certificate profile name, region, actually the URL for region. And if you're going to use GitHub Actions, as I told you, you have to register that application, and then you will get also client ID, tenant ID, and client secret, which you will need to use in GitHub Actions to actually get things signed. So how to do it manually? Well, this is the pain in the strange place, because on Mac, you need only to install Xcode and everything works. So from command line. On Windows, you have to install Sign Tool, .NET Runtime, Artifact Signing Dynamic Library, and Azure Client. And you need this Azure Client just for authentication and for nothing else. So there is good explanation actually in Microsoft how to install everything. There are several ways you can do, you know, something. When you're going to install this signing their library, if you click here, let me just move this window here so I will be explaining more to you in the, okay, so this is the region. So download and install sign tool. Where is the signing library? So use this and you get access to install. Actually, go to this site. I don't know where it is. Download signing. So go to this site and just download this package. I will do it now. Allow. Because only thing that you need from this package, go here. So rename this to zip. Then extract it. Oh, why can you do it? Unsupported format. Okay. Can my file utility handle this? Not. Why? Not sure why is this way. Anyway, if you just check here. It doesn't recognize the zip. Oh, never mind. So if you do this on Windows, you will get the file that you needed there and put it somewhere that you will not. The file is, you will see the name. I will demo this later. So you will see where is the keynote. So you need to install all of this to be able to sign. So then you have to create the JSON file, which will have you. So you need to put your endpoint, your code signing name, and your profile name. This correlation ID, it's optional, and I really don't know what is for because I didn't need it. So anyway, so, and you call this, like I used to call this manifest.json and everything, and you need to have this file handy somewhere. Then how it's workflow? You run in PowerShell, you authenticate with AZ login, that's Azure command line interface login, and this will open browser window to enter your Azure credentials. And then everything works. Then you've made like connection between your computer and Azure in the background. So why is this not going? Oh, so you see this piece of code just to sign, and basically you have to put yourself in a folder where you have your sign tool, because if you do it like with a long Windows term, it always gives me an error. I don't know why. So you see this Microsoft Trusted Signing Client, blah, 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 Azure Code Signing Daily, DLL. I'm not sure how can I do where is the, I'm not in, use Zoom to annotate. So that's the thing that you have to extract from that, how do you say, from that file. From that new package, whatever I tried to do from the zip file. So this is the only file that you need. If you install it, it's I don't know, buried somewhere deep in Windows. I never managed to find it actually. And then you have to provide the path to that JSON file that you signed, and of course the path to the exe file that you're signing. So by specifying JSON file and Azure Code Signing Daily, it knows that you want to use that you're using Azure Trusted Signing, and it will know where to. I try to use, you will see now my virtual machine, one that was clear, and I reinstalled everything for this presentation. Then previous one that I used for testing for other job, and I had some certificates there, in Windows Store or whatever it's called. And this sign tool couldn't figure out which one is the correct one. So it refused to sign, even though my paths are all okay and everything is okay. It just couldn't select the right certificate. So my advice is, if you want to sign on Windows, create virtual machine and use it just for that, and use just that one certificate, because everything gets much complicated. So now, good tutorials that I figured out are those two. You have links. Actually, both one speaks about GitHub Actions signing, but the part about setting up Azure, what I try to show you, like tenant ID, certificate, everything is very good. The other one is signing some, I don't know, package, but it's also very good. Short and only necessary parts explain how to actually to sign and what to do. So these are very good. So this is actually I don't have anything more in presentation, but I have to show you the demo. Just see if my GitHub action finished there on the, so come on. Oh, here. So it finished. Why? Oh, I didn't clear this. Okay, so my notarization failed. As you can see, why? Because I have, oh no, those are the warnings. Is it failed or no status is accepted? But I have warnings because my archive has these Mac files that are, like bin hex files that are used to when you transfer files to Windows. Anyway, once you're finished in Actions, how do I get for what I built? So I have here, as you can see, I have this artifacts actually GitHub. So I have a log, I have an authorization JSON, file, and this is signed DMG, and I can download this. It's downloading. Oh, why 1 minute? Be faster, please. So it's zip DMG, so you have to extract it, but you will see I hope everything will be the same as the one that I signed locally. So
Thank goodness for ChatGPT for figuring all this out, right?
oh yeah, it's faster. So here it is in downloads. Let me unzip it. Then let me mount it. Okay, this is the right. So you have to do, and if you use get info, come on. Sometimes it's so slow. Okay, you see, it's the same as sign locally, but it's signed in GitHub Actions.
Nice.
But so you have to somehow upload your file, actually download your file into Runner, sign it, and then attach it or upload it back somewhere signed. So basically, this is then the pitch that you asked me to do. So this is what I'm doing in ClearUSys workflow. So we build in GitHub Actions, we sign it in GitHub Actions, and we upload it to a SFTP server. And then our clients use auto update feature from our application over HTTPS to download those and use for this build feature, like update for the command. Remember the one to actually auto update the software. The idea was that. And in the meantime, we create also the release notes and everything. So this is something that you ask, and I'm working on it, and I hope I will get it finished in 1 month. The training that somebody asked for, and then we will see how it is, the complete process and explanation and everything else. So Mac is done, as you can see. Now let's try do this on Windows. So I have to go to my remote desktop because I tried do it, Brent, in our VMware on Windows ARM, but it refuses to install sign tool and everything. So I suppose that's still not ready for so I have to use this one. This is my virtual machine on my old laptop, which I used to learn Swift on Windows. Imagine that is also possible, but I use it here now to have to have everything. So I copied here, so I'm not sure this sign me copy is original that I built on Windows. So when you go here, when you do properties and you go digital signature, this is show nothing here, as you can see. I'm not sure, did I sign this previous one? If I did, I will delete it and make a copy of this and then sign for you. It's not signed. Okay, so you can. So basically, what I did, I think I'm already logged in. So you can check if you have this installed by just doing this in command line. And it will tell you which Azure client you have. So I know it's installed. So what I need to do now, imagine I have this in my, I think in my, so here, this is how I will. No, I don't want this. I don't want this. I just want to make a plain, because I was trying to make, I also made a script on Windows to sign everything like DLLs, because you will sign only, let me delete this and find my, I have prepared the links. So, okay. Where is now when I need it? It's not there. Maybe it's not this window. Sorry. A lot of windows. Oh, this one. Okay. So you see the path where I am. So this is the location of sign tool on Windows. And you will see later, you have, so why, well, not later, I can show you now where, when you install it, it goes, under program files x86, then you have Windows kits here, because basically it installed all the Windows SDK part of the Windows. It's Windows 10, and then you have here bin. Where is bin? Should be in bin. And you see a lot of versions. Usually you take the latest one, the newest one. Oh, not that one. No. I'm on 64 bits, sorry. So you see here you have sign tool installed. So imagine having to do this, you know, where should I do, where can I find my sign tool? It should be here. Come on. It's so big. Here it is, sign tool. So basically I'm calling this from PowerShell here. Then you have to do this, do sign, do debug, do which SH, and then this is you have to put timestamp. Remember, the certificates are, how to say, so it needs the timestamp, when did you sign it? So it can find you, like the active certificate to allow you to. Remember that Azure is, every day is creating a new certificate for you that is valid for 3 days. So this has to do, that's why you need to do timestamp in order to, that works, because I will sign now with certificate that is current, and in 4 days that certificate will expire, but this will still work because of this thing. So that's why. Then you have to specify that D library. So remember, that's why I told you to extract it directly and put it somewhere where it's shorter than this, but and then with DMDF, you are telling them to use this metadata. So by these parameters, sign tool knows that you're not using local certificate, but the Azure trusted certificate, signing tool certificate. So it knows, and what to sign. So we are signing just one exec now. So let's do it. Okay, signed. It is signed. Let's go here. So now when I do properties and go to digital signature, there it is. See? So it's signed. That's it. But it took you to install everything and do, do command line tools and a lot of things. What I did also is make a script that can sign. So basically, once that I run in GitHub Actions, which I already do now, actually do the same. Come on. Oh, no, that's the Safari on that. Oh, sorry. On that computer. Sorry. Where it is. So now I will run. I have a 2 Windows runners, so small application that I built, believe it or not, in poor basic, just to have it there on Windows to sign. But I will do the full signing of Mac application, and I will explain you now the. So remember to run, do this. While it's downloading and working, I will show you actually what I'm doing in the so BB edit. So this is what Windows latest in GitHub Actions means, I think Windows Server 2025 now. So set the path, set the same binary things to download the application from my server, and then extract it here. And this is all you have to do in Windows. So you just need to set your secrets. So tenant ID, client secret, endpoint, account name, and certificate profile is what you need to set in secrets in order to work. And this you pass to, so this Azure Trusted Signing action is actually official Microsoft action that you can call to sign. And they're updating it. It's downloading the latest components from it and everything. And you can set some parameters here. So which folder to sign. And now you can say go recursively. So go to all subfolders in that folder, instead of, so if I'm doing this manually, I have to write a script, which I did. You will see it here, sign all PowerShell, but it's so complicated to run. Sometimes it doesn't run. It needs to elevate privileges, actually, to allow PowerShell scripts to be run, etc., etc. So it's so complicated on Windows, and it's much easier here. So basically, you will need to sign file by file. This action is doing that the same thing, but you just call the action and it does it things. You will see that later in log. So recurs, and this is also important, filtered files. So sign only exe and DLL. You don't need to sign anything else. In the manual thing in Windows, I sign only the exe, which is enough for Windows, but this is okay. And then also upload artifact. Let's see how far it went. So it's signing actually. So you see it's going file by file, actually calling sign2 in loop, And as I said, I made a script that do this in Windows also, but so many files, you see. Takes. Okay, done. Now it's uploading the artifact and finish.
Well, and sometimes these things get more complicated and or less complicated, but it sure is nice to have it all scripted one way or another.
So I will download this from Windows. So now it's built, you can see. I just want to see if it's caching. So because it complains some, so you see these are the components that it's, so Windows SDK tools, trusted signing client, that is where the dynamic library, and this is also, so the three things that you had to install, it installs always and it caches them here. So you will always have the latest version available because it's official Microsoft's action. There is kind of marketplace in the GitHub actions that you can put. This is free one, but it's called that way, so you can use the pre-built actions for something. So back to the Windows. So let me check. Do I have in history GitHub? Wait. What did I signed it? Where is my one password now? One password not there, but on this computer. GitHub. I didn't receive notification. Okay, verify. Here it is. Just to 70 approve. Okay. This is the one. Let's download this.
There's a couple of questions in the chat.
I'm looking at them now. Yeah. Okay, you do the asking.
Does or can the Azure process create a PDFX file or a ev.cer file, certificate file that can be used by a third-party packaging program like InstallAware?
I don't know, but maybe Installware can do it. Something I didn't try that. I really don't know.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if you actually need it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because you sign the application, so it's in there. It will know how to. But I don't know. I really don't know.
Mm.
I mean, because you don't have all the certificates are in Azure. You don't have them, so that's how they
Um, right. Seems specific to InstallAware.
yeah, well, Installware or that, you don't have a file for certificate because that one that you actually signed your application with will expire in 3 days. And Azure is handling all of those things later. When your client starts the application, it will consult, whatever Azure in it, and it will let you run whatever they have it in there. But there is no physical certificate that you can, if I understand the question correctly, you know.
There's another question from John. Does the region for being able to get these accounts, does the region restrict where a public application can be installed? For example,
Oh, no. You install everywhere. It's just, I think, something that, they divided for, I don't know, for speed or whatever purpose, but you can run your application anywhere. It doesn't,
right.
it's not that kind of, no.
It's more of a restriction on where the developer is, not where it's
Yeah,
being
where
run.
that's, and checking and whatever. Yeah. So, okay, so this is the sign me from GitHub Actions. Digital signature, and there it is again. So
I think we're going to be seeing more and more of those digital signature requirements on Windows, aren't we?
oh yeah, it happened to me with one local client. They updated Windows or something, and suddenly the client server application that I had started to, the client one, the updated client started complaining. So they need to click run anyway or something every time that I update, and that was not the case before.
Right. Trust.
Yeah, trust.
Just trust it. It's fine. All
So
right.
that's, I think, all from me now for the, I don't have any demos left or.
Well, that was a lot. And, I want to just to restate what I think Milan was trying to mention earlier is that, there's a lot to unpack within these two demos that he's done. And, I think that Milan has mentioned that he's open to private trainings and, hosting an online seminar on how to do these kind of tasks, not only the GitHub actions, but the signing aspects, notarization, and whatnot. So, I encourage anybody who is being who's interested in this or who needs to deliver this for their business, that he's been working on these capabilities for years, and I think it's very evident that he's accomplished some pretty impressive stuff, and it might also take anyone else years or more time to do the same. So, if you need to do this kind of stuff, reach out to Milan. It'd be a huge advantage.
Yeah, well, what we have there is like also custom icons, everything, so trying to build applications like ready and everything in GitHub just, well, we actually do, Tiran is not here, nobody was here. So what we do also project management also in GitHub. So, like we have like release notes are generated from actually GitHub issues, actually from pull requests connected to issue with certain labels. So it's kind of nice to,
And
and I did it both, because first I didn't, Tiran was not clear enough. So I do what was called a conventional commits thing to do the releases, and then he said, no, I want the labels to be so we have both of them and use the later one. So it's kind of interesting when you have everything covered and use just GitHub for everything. And, I need the new test build and I just create a new branch and give it a name like test something and just run a GitHub action from a test branch. And it knows where to download for the binaries from, what to build, how to build, and where to upload, and you can have it differently, because we implemented, for example, using this procedure, we implemented like auto update channels, for example, of our 4D. So it's kind of, and GitHub actions are doing everything.
right.
Nothing.
You mentioned they do the release notes as well, right?
Yeah. Release notes also. Yeah.
Which is
It's kind of
real
cool.
nice.
Yeah. I hope I will finish that soon and try, to see how that will go here.
Well, appreciate your sharing all your hard work.
Thanks.
If anyone has any further questions, you can reach out directly to Milan or post them on the dedicated post on the forum, or also via the post on 4DMethod. So it's really great stuff, and thanks so much to you, Milan,
Thank
for
you.
sharing all of that, and for everybody at 4D for their part in these meetings, and to all of you for contributing yourself. So, all right, with that, I'm going to say until next time. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.